Myths about the creator of the world. Nyuwa in Chinese mythology. Nyuwa is one of the central deities in ancient Chinese mythology, who is considered the creator of mankind and the universe. According to legends, she existed before the appearance of heaven and earth, when the universe was chaos. It was Nyuwa who took it upon herself to organize this primordial disorder and create the world as we know it today. Long ago, long before the birth of the first people, the world was in a state of chaos. Heaven and earth had not yet separated, and everything was mixed in a shapeless mass. It was in this chaos that the powerful goddess Nyuwa was born. Her appearance was the beginning of a new order. Nyuva, one of the most important deities in Chinese mythology. There are versions that she appeared from a cosmic egg, like other ancient deities. It is believed that she created the world and people and protects mankind. Some sources record her name as Nyuwa, emphasizing her feminine nature and connection to the water element. Nyuwa is traditionally represented as a woman with the body of a snake or dragon. This symbolizes her power and ability to control the natural elements. The upper part of her body, head and torso, human, and below the waist, the body is covered with scales and passes into a long tail. She is sometimes depicted with tools in her hands, such as a hammer or twig, which she used to create the world. The colors associated with Nyuwa are green and blue, symbolizing water and sky. Green also denotes fertility and growth, reflecting her role as a creator. Nyuwa possessed incredible strength and deep intelligence. She understood that her task was to bring the world into harmony and create the conditions for life. First, she took a stone resembling jade and carved two circles out of it. One of them became the dome of heaven and the other the earth. This was how the separation between heaven and earth came about. Next, Nyuwa began to create mountains, rivers, and oceans. With her hands she shaped the mountains, determining their shape and height. Where her fingers touched the earth, rivers and lakes appeared. Every detail was carefully considered so that everything was in perfect harmony. Once nature was created, Nyuva turned her attention to living things. She wanted to repopulate the earth with different life forms. To do this, she used clay found on the riverbank. Nyuva molded figures of animals and plants, giving each one a unique appearance and character. When the animals and plants filled the earth, Nyuva realized the need to create a being who could control all this splendor. So she decided to create a human being. Once again, Nyuva turned to clay, but this time she approached the work with special attention. She painstakingly molded every detail of the human body, wanting to achieve perfection. Nevertheless, the process of creating humans took a long time. Nyuwa was tired and wanted to speed up the work. So she took a twig and began to sprinkle clay on the ground. From these droplets new people began to emerge, but they were less perfect than the ones she had created by hand. Thus two types of people appeared. Some were noble and strong, molded by Nyuva's hands, while others were simple and ordinary, born from the splashes of clay. The former became rulers and sages, the latter became peasants and laborers. As mentioned earlier, Nyuwa created humans from clay. However, there is an interesting nuance. According to some sources, at first she created only men. Later she realized that women are necessary for the continuation of the species, and therefore created them too. It is worth emphasizing that Nyuva was not limited to simply creating people, she also laid in them moral principles and laws. She taught them the proper way of life and interaction with each other. In doing so, Nyuva became not only the physical, but also the spiritual mother of humanity. After completing her work, Nyuva felt tired. She sat down on the bank of the river and looked over her creation. The world was marvelous, and every element was harmonious. Nyuva smiled and decided to rest for a while. Suddenly, however, she noticed that one of the pillars holding up the sky was beginning to collapse. If this support collapsed, the sky could fall to earth, destroying everything she had created. Nyuva immediately set about repairing it. She collected turtle shells and used them as new supports, reinforcing the sky. This incident demonstrates how significant Nyuva was to the preservation of world order. Without her intervention, the world might have disappeared. When the work was finished, Nyuva looked around the world again. Everything was in order, and she could finally allow herself to rest. But before she left, she decided to leave behind something significant. Nyuwa decided to create a life partner for herself. She chose Fu Shi, one of the first humans she created. Together they became the progenitors of mankind. They passed on a lot of important knowledge: how to build dwellings, cultivate the land, and cure diseases. Because of this, humanity was able to grow and prosper. This is the end of the story of the creation of the world according to Chinese mythology. Nyuva left behind a beautiful world filled with life and harmony. Her labors and care for people are forever preserved in the memory of generations. There is another myth about the goddess Nyuva. The myth of eternal youth. In ancient times, when the world was just beginning to take its shape, the goddess Nyuva, who embodied wisdom and creative energy, discovered an amazing secret. She learned how to stay young and healthy despite the passage of time. This secret was so powerful that it allowed her to avoid aging and disease, keeping her body and spirit eternally young. Legend has it that one day, while walking along the riverbank, Nyuwa noticed an unusual plant growing among the rocks. Its leaves glowed softly and its roots were deeply embedded in the ground, as if connecting it to the essence of nature itself. As she approached, Nyuwa felt a special energy emanating from the plant, filling her with a sense of freshness and vigor. She decided to taste the juice of the plant. As soon as the drops of juice touched her lips, Nyuwa felt her body fill with vitality. The wrinkles on her skin smoothed out, her eyes shone brighter, and her steps became light and confident. Nyuwa realized that she had found the source of eternal youth. The plant was a rare lotus that was only found in certain places and bloomed once every 1,000 years. The juice of this lotus contained unique substances that could slow down the aging process and restore the body's cells. Nyuwa named this plant Jingza, which translates as lotus of immortality. To prepare the elixir of eternal youth, Nyuva collected petals Jingza in the full moon, when the power of the moon enhanced the properties of the plant. She infused the petals in pure water from mountain springs, adding rare herbs and minerals known only to her. The process of preparation took months, and each step required special attention and focus. The finished elixir was shaped into small pills, each of which carried a piece of her power and knowledge. These pills could prolong life for hundreds and sometimes thousands of years, returning a person to youth and health. Despite possessing the secret of eternal youth, Nyuwa did not keep it to herself. She believed that knowledge should benefit all people. Therefore, she chose the worthy, those who strove for knowledge, justice, and goodness, and gave them her pills. Everyone who had the honor to receive a pill from Nyuva became the bearer of the secret. He was obliged to pass on the knowledge to subsequent generations, continuing the chain of transmission of wisdom and power. So the secret of eternal youth was passed from teacher to student, from master to master. Among those who received pills from Nyuwa were legendary figures of Chinese history and mythology. One such disciple was Shennong, a semi-legendary emperor famous for his knowledge of medicine and agriculture. After receiving the pill from Nyuwa, Shennong lived for over 300 years, continuing to advance the sciences and help his people. Another famous disciple was Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism. Legend claims that it was through the Nyuwa pill that Lao Tzu achieved a deep understanding of nature and wrote the famous book, the Tao Te Ching. His teachings on harmony and unity with nature formed the basis of Taoist philosophy. However, like many great mysteries, the secret of eternal youth was gradually lost. As time went on, the number of pills dwindled, and not all disciples were able to pass the knowledge on. Some used the pills for selfish purposes, forgetting their duty to mankind. Today, few people remember the existence of Jingza and Nyuva pills. Only a few elders living in remote mountains keep the memories of the ancient tradition. But even today, on rare occasions, one can hear stories of meeting a wandering monk or a wise elder whose skin radiates health and whose eyes glow with age-old wisdom. So the legend of Nyuwa's eternal youth continues to exist in the hearts of people, reminding them that true wisdom and strength can overcome any obstacle, even death itself. There is also a myth about fighting demons. The world created by Nyuwa was a marvelous place filled with harmony and beauty. However, like any other world, it was not immune to the forces of evil. Demons, born of chaos and darkness, relentlessly sought ways to penetrate the human world to destroy the established order. Demons came from the remnants of chaos that existed before the creation of the world. They were the spawn of darkness and destruction, seeking to destroy all that Nyuva created. Their goal was to return the world to its original state of chaos, where there were no laws or rules. These demons took on different guises. Some looked like huge beasts with sharp claws and teeth, others like shadows that could pass through walls and hide in the dark. They attacked people, stole souls, and sowed fear and destruction wherever they went. When Nyuwa realized the danger posed by the demons, she decided to join the fight. She knew that only her strength and wisdom could protect the world from destruction. Armed with a magical sword forged from pure light and a shield that reflected evil, Nyuva set out in search of the demons. The first arena of battle was a dense forest where the demons had established their sanctuary. Nyuva faced a huge beast whose eyes blazed with scarlet light and whose teeth were sharper than any sword. The battle was fierce and protracted, but in the end, Nyuva defeated the beast, plunging it back into the abyss. However, defeating one demon did not mean the end of the battle. Soon Nyuwa learned that a major demon, the leader of all the others, was preparing to attack the human world. This demon's name was Huang, a huge creature whose body was made of shadows and smoke, and whose voice rumbled like thunder. Huang gathered an army of demons and launched an attack on the human world. His intention was to destroy everything that Nyuwa had created and take control of the world. Nyuwa realized that this would become the most difficult battle of her life. The battle began at the top of a high mountain, where Nyuwa came face to face with Huang. The demon unleashed a powerful stream of black flame in an attempt to destroy the goddess, but Nyuwa repelled the attack with her shield. She returned the blow, releasing rays of light that pierced the darkness. The battle continued for days and nights. Both opponents used all of their strength and abilities, but in the end Nyuwa emerged victorious. She was able to imprison Huang in a magic crystal, which she then plunged into the depths of the ocean, far from the world of men. Nyuwa's victory over the demons guaranteed the safety of the world for centuries to come. People were no longer afraid to leave their homes at night, knowing that evil had been defeated. Nyuwa became a symbol of protection and hope for all who lived in the world. However, fighting the demons left an imprint on Nyuwa. She had expended a lot of effort and energy defending the world, and although she remained young and strong, one could now see signs of weariness in her eyes. But Nyuwa never lamented, for she knew that her mission was to protect the world and the people. The legend of Nyuwa's battle with the demons persists in popular memory. In some villages, stories of the great battle are still told, and statues of Nyuwa holding a sword and shield are found in temples and homes. These symbols remind people that good always triumphs over evil, and that defending the world requires dedication and courage. The myth of Nyuwa fighting demons has become an integral part of China's cultural heritage, inspiring generations to fight for justice and protect the weak. The image of Nyuwa is often found in art and literature, symbolizing creation, protection, and motherly love. Thus, Nyuwa remains a significant figure in Chinese mythology and culture, symbolizing the beginning of life, order, and harmony.